Have you ever found yourself in an endless argument with your ADHD child, feeling like no matter what you say, things only escalate? You're not alone. Kids with ADHD often struggle with impulse control, emotional regulation, and flexible thinking, making arguments more frequent and intense. But what if I told you there's a way to handle these situations that strengthens your connection instead of damaging it? Stay with me because, in this video, I'll share practical strategies to help you turn conflicts into teachable moments. First, let's understand why arguments happen so frequently. ADHD affects a child's ability to regulate emotions, process consequences, and shift attention. This means impulsivity. They react quickly without thinking. Emotional intensity. Small frustrations feel huge to them. Struggle with transitions. If they're in the middle of something, stopping feels impossible. Desire for control. They often feel out of control, leading to power struggles. Recognizing these triggers is the first step to changing how we respond. Now, how do you respond without making things worse? Here are 3 techniques. Pause and breathe before responding. Take a deep breath and lower your voice. Your calmness helps regulate their emotions. Validate their feelings. Say something like, "I see you're really frustrated. That makes sense." This doesn't mean you agree, but it helps them feel heard. Offer choices instead of demands. Instead of saying, "Do your homework now," try, "Do you want to start with math or reading first?" Giving choices reduces power struggles. Next, let's talk about effective communication. Kids with ADHD respond best to clear, simple, and positive instructions. Here's what works. Use fewer words. Instead of long explanations, say, "First clean up, then we'll play." Nonverbal cues, a gentle touch on the shoulder or hand signals can help refocus them. Collaborate when possible, involve them in problem solving. Say, "How can we make homework time easier for you?" Arguments don't have to end in frustration. They can be learning opportunities. Here's how. Debrief later. After everyone is calm, talk about what happened. Ask, "What do you think we could do differently next time?" Model emotional regulation. Say, "I felt frustrated too, so I took a deep breath before answering." Reinforce positive behaviors. When your child handles a situation well, acknowledge it. "I noticed you took a deep breath instead of yelling. That was great." Now let's go over some do's and don'ts when talking to your ADHD child. These simple changes can make a huge difference in how they respond. Getting instructions right. Ever given your child a long list of things to do and seen them freeze up or only get part of it done? That's because their brain processes things differently. Instead of bombarding them with a bunch of steps, try breaking it down into smaller pieces. For example, instead of saying, "Turn to page 25, read the second line of the third paragraph," try saying, "First, turn to page 25, now find the third paragraph. Great, now read the second line." This way they can follow along and stay on track, one step at a time. Getting their attention. Have you ever called out to your child from another room, only to have them not respond or get distracted? That's common with ADHD. Instead of shouting, try going to them, making eye contact and saying, "Hey John, it's time to come downstairs." When you're close and they're looking at you, they're much more likely to actually hear and focus on what you're saying. Managing transitions. Does it feel like your child is completely thrown off when it's time to switch activities? This is especially true for ADHD kids, who often struggle with sudden changes. Instead of saying, "Stop playing and do your homework now," try, "In 5 minutes, we'll switch to homework. Let's wrap up your game so you're ready." Giving them a heads up helps them prepare mentally, so the transition feels smoother and less stressful. Correcting behavior. How many times have you told your child to stop fidgeting or sit still, only to see them get even more restless? It's because many kids with ADHD need movement to focus. Instead of forcing them to sit still, try saying, I see you have a lot of energy. How about we use this stress ball while we talk? Redirecting their energy helps them concentrate while still getting their wiggles out. Encouraging cooperation. Has your child ever resisted doing something because the consequence felt too harsh or unfair? Instead of saying, if you don't clean your room, no TV for a week, try something like, let's clean up together for 5 minutes, then you can watch TV. When you work together and keep things manageable, they're more likely to cooperate, and it doesn't feel like a punishment, it feels like a team effort. Handling arguments with an ADHD child isn't about winning, it's about guiding them to develop emotional regulation and problem-solving skills. Remember, patience and consistency make a difference. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to handling arguments with your child? If you found these strategies helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more parenting tips. Let's support each other on this journey.